Dumelang bakgaitso, I am Tebogedi Tinti. Welcome to Time with Tea, and thank you so much for choosing to spend time with me. I have always maintained that there are 5 things that I will always talk about: performing arts and culture, books and literature, gender-based violence, Agenda 23, and myself. Today, I am talking about myself, and this is not a get to know me video. It is a video about something that I have always been sharing, that I have never shied away from, and I've never made secret. However, it's taking different shape and it's taking different form. And I'm actually surprised that till this time, some pain still doesn't go away. I suppose that's the thing about pain, and that's the thing about trauma. It never leaves you. You just make space for it. You give it space for it to exist, so you get used to it. You create a compartment for the things that hurt you most, and then you keep it there. And sometimes that compartment opens up and you become undone. A little bit of how I'm becoming right now. And I've always promised myself that I'm never gonna be on any of these platforms and start weeping, because I have the ugliest cry. So I'm not gonna do it. I had a good cry because I was in therapy today. I'm a fan of therapy. I love therapy. It is because of therapy that I was able to identify a few things in my life that needed attention. It was because of therapy that I gained the tools and the know-how to deal with difficult times in my life and how to face certain circumstances. Today was no different, and my counselor asked me, and she said, "Do you have abandonment issues?" And I rushed to say no. It was a very quick no that I gave. And she looked at me and said, "Tell me about your dad." So it's evident that where my father is concerned, I have abandonment issues. And those issues appear in other aspects of my life. And those issues appear in very different ways. Sometimes they come in a form of me leaving people before they leave me, or me dimming my light so that I don't shine too bright to blind the people that are there for me and cause them to leave. And sometimes I lose myself in overcompensating to make sure that people don't leave. I sometimes gave up my values. I sometimes went against everything I stand for the sake of keeping somebody in my life, just so I don't feel abandoned even once, even if it's by somebody that I don't even really like. Just that feeling of abandonment, the feeling of rejection, really does a number on me, and it takes a toll. And it's something that I haven't been paying too much attention to. I've always thought that it would be something that goes away in its own time. But it's showing up in the relationships that I have with people, that I have with colleagues, that I have with my superiors, that I have with friends that I used to have, because I no longer have friends. It shows up in my relationships with my family members. It shows up in my relationships with my kids. And the therapist asked me which aspect of my life does my abandonment issue show up, where I actually like what it's doing. And I said, in my kids. I love my kids. I let them know that I love them every chance I get, and that is like all day, every day. I never let them forget. I always say to my kids, I said, I never want you to go to be in any situation and say, I can't go to mom about this. She's gonna unalive me. I want my kids to say, I'm in trouble. I need my mom. And I'm also an auntie, but I'm a muntie, an auntie that's also a mother, so I'm a muntie. And I say this to my nieces as well, to say, if you're ever in trouble, I want you to say, I need my muntie, as opposed to say, I can't call my muntie, she's gonna flip. So I like how my abandonment issues show up in my mothering and my muntying. I don't like how they show up in all the other relationships. I don't like how it shows up when my mother is concerned. Because if I have an issue with my father, then I have an issue with my mother, because they were together at some point, and my sisters and I came, and then they decided that they're not going to be together anymore. I don't know who decided. All I know is that my father's the one that upped and left. So I don't know how that decision came about. Till today, I still don't know. I don't have those answers. And because my father is no longer here, we now have one side of the story. It has always been my father left, but because he did, we just never knew the reasons why he left. So where he's concerned, I've always felt like I've lost my father twice. Now I've lost him twice, so I mourn him twice. I first lost him to life when he upped and left. Again, the second time when he passed away. I don't know how to process that grief still. There was a time when I believed that I had grieved, and I've accepted things as they are, for what they are. And it's days like this when I talk about him and I realize that I still have so much emotion, so much pent up anger, and so much pent up pain. And I understand that grief is love that has nowhere else to go. So because he's no longer here, I can no longer direct my pain to him. Because he's no longer here, I can no longer direct. I don't know what to do with the love that I had for him. Because he's no longer here, all that anger that I had towards him is left with me, and I don't know what to do with it. And it's slowly showing up in my daily life, and it's creeping up in my personality. And I need to fix that. And I don't know how, but I'm learning. I am willing to learn, because I do not want to hurt the people that I love. I don't want to hurt the people that love me, all because I had a father who left me. I do believe in love, and I do believe that I will find love that will fulfill me, that will be wholesome, and not wait for the person to leave. That has always been my train of thought. Especially in love relationships, I wait for the people to leave, because I always say, well, they're gonna leave anyway. Or I make them leave and say, well, they're gonna leave anyway. And I'm at a point where I want to work on those things because it's not fair to me, and it's definitely not fair to the people who try to love me. I never thought in all the few years that I've been on earth that I would stand here and record something like this and actually go sit down and upload it, because I don't edit much. I don't really have the know-how because I've never taken the time to learn, which I could, I just don't. And I'm gonna post it and upload it and allow it to go out there in the world and have people take it the way that they choose to understand me at the time. But I'm doing this to hold myself accountable, to say, Tebogo, you gave yourself the word to say that you're gonna work on it. So work on it. How my parents' relationship ended is not a reflection of who I am. The tragedy of their breakup is not the story of my love life. And it hurts to think that it affected me so much. And it affected me so negatively that I'm now left with the remnants. But you can't fix a problem until you acknowledge it. So I'm acknowledging it, and I'm willing to fix it. It is my wish for every one of us who have some type of father wound or mother wound, that we get to heal, that we find healing, that we find people that are willing to walk the journey with us, and that when we do find those people, we don't bleed all over them, because they are not the ones who cut us. You know the cliche of therapy when they say, forgive yourself? I used to roll my eyes and be like, I didn't do anything. Why do I need to forgive myself? But I do need to forgive myself for not doing better even when I knew better. I need to forgive myself for the things that I didn't know when I needed to know them. And I need to forgive myself for not giving love a fair chance for such a long time. If you ever come across this video, I don't know if you need to forgive yourself for some things, only you know. I don't know if you found love or you have love now or you don't, but find healing and find love and enjoy your life. I'm Tebogo Tinti. Thank you for choosing to spend time with T. Love and light.